And you're watching the Super Fantasy Bros podcast. 1 hour of commercial-free podcasting starts now. Enjoy the show.
Thank you, Scott.
I almost forgot how to set that up. Welcome back to Super Fantasy Bros podcast. Week 14 is here. Sean is not. I am back, though. So that might be all we need. I am filling the...
Sounds like fair trade to me.
I'm like Tyler Huntley. Like you can't even tell the difference when I'm replacing Sean. Might be better than him. But today we'll be breaking down some of the most important players for Week 14 in our rankings discussion, doing some cap or no cap. We'll do some start sits, of course, game picks, and then I also have some trivia for today. It's been a little bit, but we back for the most important time of the year. Hopefully, we'll be talking about giving you some assistance on very important week this week if you haven't made the playoffs yet, or if you're just relaxing, sitting back, waiting.
Play spoiler.
Yeah. All right, let's get into this. Cap or no cap? Oh, I don't even know why I'm reading that. So, as I just mentioned his name, Lamar Jackson, he's out with an MCL injury for an unknown amount of time. Could be the rest of the season. Who knows? Tyler Huntley is taking over. We've seen him take over last season for Lamar. He did play okay. He made Mark Andrews' TE1 season finish. He helped him a lot with that. Where do we have him ranked this week? Tyler Huntley.
Tyler Huntley.
Wait, I wasn't ready.
I wasn't ready for that either.
I wasn't ready.
I got him at... I could move him up. I'm about to move him up to 13 over T-Law and D-Watt because I like his matchup. Pittsburgh is not the greatest defense. Like you said, we've seen him come in, be solid last year. So I like him, especially in this matchup. Jared Goff's a cutoff only because Jared Goff's been so hot lately. But I don't see Tyler Huntley coming in and playing like a lot of these backup quarterbacks have been this year.
Fantasy Pros has him at 17, and I completely disagree.
I disagree. Why?
Well, I'd rather start they had Tom Brady over him.
Yeah, no.
Daniel Jones versus Philly.
No.
Deshaun Watson.
Nah.
I have Deshaun over him. I'm not starting him this week. I have him at 14. Lamar hasn't done too well with this offense, so Tyler Huntley, I don't know if he's going to do any better. But it's not a bad matchup. They'll probably have to score. And he had an okay game last. He's pretty much scored Lamar's regular game total in 1 week or in 3 quarters or however long it was that he was in, that Lamar had in the whole game. 15
I'm
points.
a fan. I think he's going to do good.
Would you consider dropping Lamar? He could be out for the rest of the season. Do you think it's worth that risk?
No.
Nope.
Because when he comes
I
back,
haven't even dropped Cooper Kupp yet.
That's insane.
That is insane.
Nobody else can have him.
When he comes back, he may not be running, and he already hasn't been that valuable with the ability to run. So I don't know. I'm sure people are going to keep him on their team, but if you need the spot, it might be worth that risk of dropping him. As long as you have another quarterback, you probably do if he's already hurt. So here's next question here. Talked about him, Tom Brady. We're going to play the game that Sean likes to play. Tom Brady and I listed some quarterbacks here that are probably ranked a little for or behind him. First one we have here is Ryan Tannehill versus Jacksonville, and Tom Brady is playing against the 49ers.
I'm just saying I love this game too, all right? Don't come at Sean for that. This is a good game.
No, I really like this game.
All right.
I had to include it.
I do have Tannehill 1 spot behind Brady, but I could easily move Brady to 18. That's how putrid he has been this season and how much I hate this matchup against the Niners.
If you have to start either one of them, I feel bad for you.
Yeah,
but
you probably aren't making the playoffs.
This is like one of those ones where you just got to spin. You got to spin the fantasy wheel or something. Leave it up to the gods.
Flip the coin.
They might not even let you spin with those options. But spoiler alert, I have all these guys ranked above Tom Brady. So this is for your game to play. Next quarterback here is Daniel Jones versus the Eagles. He's had success in the past, but the Eagles defense is a lot better this year.
Still rather start Daniel Jones. Yeah.
Vanilla Vic.
Higher ceiling with the running.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Next quarterback is Deshaun Watson versus the Bengals. Looked terrible last week, and another Bengals team Bengals defense that's good.
This is tough. D-Watt has the upside, especially against the Bengals. He's going to have to score a lot, but he looked really, really bad.
Oh, yeah.
He was knocking the rust off. It's been almost 2 years.
I think the rust is still plenty on. Give me Tom Brady.
Against that stout Niners D.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to start
Tom Brady. He'll get his. He'll get his one. He needs
to start like 10 feet behind in shotgun because that pass rush will take him so quick. They might have like a long snapper hike him the ball. And another quarterback we just mentioned, Tyler Huntley at the Steelers.
Give me Huntley over any of them.
Yep.
Yeah, I would do the same. I don't know about over all of them, but over Tom Brady. Russell Wilson.
Who?
Would you start Russell Wilson over Tom Brady?
Hell no.
No shot. I would never start him no matter what. I'd rather start Mike White.
I got Russell Wilson at 22.
Jesus. I mean, I can't really see.
He sucks.
I have him above Mac Jones because Mac Jones is not much better.
Give me Brock Purdy.
Nah, I wouldn't go that far.
He has weapons, but
okay, but he is Mr. Irrelevant.
No, now he's Mr. Relevant.
Now.
So clearly Tom Brady is not that good of an option this week. A question I did not include, I thought I'd ask, would you be afraid of starting Dak Prescott this week against the Texans? The Texans have only allowed 20 or more points to 2 quarterbacks this year. They're not a good team, so you don't have to score much. So if you had a Kirk Cousins, would you start him over Dak Prescott this week?
No.
Maybe.
There's a chance that he throws 0 touchdowns because they could just run all over them. Texans pass these pretty good, but I just think I have Kirk Cousins ranked over the Dak this week.
I have Dak at 6.
That's tough.
It's juicy, but they've only allowed 2 quarterbacks, Justin Herbert and Jalen Hurts, to score 20, and they only scored 21 and like 24, so barely over 20. They're holding.
Yeah, but CeeDee's a menace, and we just saw Gallup come back to life.
I think I'm taking Kirk because the Lions suck, but they could put up points.
That could
they
be
put up points, bro.
72-70 game.
Give me Kirk.
How about Kyler against the Patriots?
Over Dak?
Yeah.
No, give me Dak.
Okay. It's close. I mean, I'm sure you're starting Dak because why would you not start anyone against the Texans? But the proof's in the pudding out there. They're not as juicy as you may think. All right, so let's get into the running backs here. DeAndre Swift's usage has finally increased this past week, seeing 51% of the snaps and an RB4 finish, which is probably his highest of the season. Cap or no cap, he will be a top 15 running back rest of the season. And then on top of that, where do we have him ranked this week compared to Jamal Williams, who still finds his way in the end zone?
First off, Cap.
I'm gonna have to say Cap. Only
Thank
because
you.
Any week Jamal could easily take over. But this week specifically, I do have DeAndre Swift ranked over him. I have Swift at 14 and Jamal at 19. So
why though?
Both are very much viable starting options.
But why do you have the man that's like?
Because
does he have the most
Swift
in the league
still?
still?
His most snap share since coming back. So why not just try and get him more involved?
Yeah,
that's Swift a good question. I'm not sure the Lions even know the answer. I don't know why, but Jamal is nice, and he will forever be over Swift for me as they're playing together.
Yeah, I have Swift at 13. He is dealing with the injury this week, which is obviously an issue with Swift because if he's limited, it'll be a Jamal top 10, top 5 week again, 3 touchdowns. But if both are healthy, I'm taking Swift, and I don't even know where I have Swift or Jamal Williams ranked.
These things are pissing me off up here.
Just count them off.
I didn't even.
Oh shit! They come right out.
Your hat's getting old.
It's like the oldest hat I have.
All right, so not top 15 rest of the season, possibly, but this week, good play. Another backfield that's a headache is in Tampa Bay. Where do we have Rachaad White and Fournette ranked? Both had 6 receptions. Fournette had more yards, barely. White had the touchdown, did fumble. Probably would have had a better day if he didn't fumble because he was on a little hot streak that drive. But is Rachaad White over Fournette?
Yes. I have Rachaad 21, Fournette 23.
Fantasy Pros is taking the scummy way out and putting them at 24 and 25.
They're not that
scum.
They're not bold.
Not a good matchup.
Sean did those ranks.
They just took his as consensus.
But yeah, bad matchup for both. Not starting either. Well, unless I have to, but I'd rather not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's scary starting anyone against the Niners. We just saw Waddle get 1.6 points.
He was hurt. This question kind of leads into the last one. Ken Walker III is out this week, which it seems to be trending in that direction. Would you consider starting any of the Seahawks running backs? It seems right now it's Tony Jones because DJ Dallas and Homer are injured, questionable this week. Would you consider starting Tony Jones over either of the Tampa Bay running backs if DJ and Homer are both out?
No.
If they're both out, sure. It's only going to be him then.
Yeah.
Then this is such a big week for so many people, though. I don't know.
Yeah, if you're in the playoffs, it might be fun just to throw him in there. But
is Tony Jones going to save you? Is he going to get you in the offs?
Tony Jones might not save you. But Fournette against
Alvin Kamara.
What makes you say that?
When he was on the Saints and he was his backup.
Tony Jones Jr. Yeah, it's risky. But if he is the only running back, I would definitely consider. I'd probably spin the wheel for that.
Spin the wheel. Spin it up.
This might be a big week for the wheel. The wheel might be needing some oil. On to the wide receivers, cap or no cap. Oh, I only have one wide receiver question. I apologize. DJ Moore is a trustworthy start this week after seeing him play with Sam Darnold. After a big week before the bye with Sam Darnold getting 4 for 103 and a touchdown. I mentioned the last podcast I was on, which was before they played together. He has had his best weeks last season, at least with Sam Darnold. And we just saw it again this year. Would you trust him this week? Do you have him inside your top 25?
Automatic cap because you said trustworthy and DJ Moore in the same sentence. It'll never be true.
I'm at 24. I do like DJ Moore this week. I think the Panthers are going to have to put up points because I don't think they're going to be able to run against the Seahawks defense. And the Seahawks offense has looked good all season long, so they're obviously going to put up points on the Panthers. I'm not scared of that defense at all. So I think Sam Darnold's going to have to kind of sling this thing, and who better to throw it to than DJ Moore?
Yeah, I do like him. I do like him this week, but as a whole.
Yeah, you can never put Trust and DJ Moore together. You can barely put 10 points in DJ Moore together, but hopefully we get that this week with Sam Darnold, who seems to be a good quarterback to play with.
I hope so.
Tight ends here. Broncos and tight ends have one thing in common. There's not much good to say about them. Luckily, fortunately, the Broncos have one of those emerging good tight ends. Greg Dulcich, who finished tight end 2 last week. Can you trust him this week against KC with no Sutton, most likely? Where do you have him ranked? Is he a top 10 tight end play for you?
I have him at 6.
I
love me some Dulcich this week.
Let's see. I have him at 8.
Bro, outside of the top 5, it's just a toss-up.
Broncos are going to have to throw. Kansas City is just going to – I know the Broncos' defense has been good all year, but Kansas City's offense is elite. So, like you said, no Sutton. Judy's still banged up, I'm pretty sure. So, I mean,
right.
The only option is Greg Dulcich at that point. KJ Hamler's out, so it's literally a one-man show. And I'm not trusting any of those running backs by any means.
It's usually nice to say this team's gonna have to throw, but Broncos have to throw and they still can't even score 5 points. So
we have a question.
We do have a question.
Sorry, I forgot that I'm the host and I have to look at these things. Rizzo, hey, quick question. Do you guys have any kicker recommendations? Koo is on a bye.
Justin Tucker.
Graham Gano. Brett Maher.
Cameron Dicker.
Dicker. That's
Dicker, the kicker.
Dicker, if he's available, grab him. Maybe Michael Badgley against.
I was going to say Michael Badgley.
Looks
a bit juicy right now.
But Dicker is good. I guess he's finally found his team too in the Chargers.
Good for him.
All right. Last tight end question here.
Hey, get this off the screen.
Oh, sorry. I'm getting confused by Nightbot. Nightbot has a question. How far down, if at all, has George Kittle fallen in your rankings with Mr. No longer irrelevant at quarterback? He had a terrible, poopy 3 targets for like 4 points most of the game with Purdy. Is he still in your top 5?
Nope.
Fantasy Pro says 6.
8.
We
were having trouble trusting him with Jimmy G.
I know.
So I mean, you bring in Brock Purdy. What are you gonna do? You have to drop him. At least there was upside for him with Jimmy Garoppolo under center, but Brock Purdy, no thank you.
It just sucks.
I doubt you have a better option, but
exactly, you're better off just not having Kittle because like you can't bench him.
Yeah,
but if you do play him, he's like gonna do nothing. It's just like a lose-lose.
It's a shame.
You might lose less by starting.
You're stuck between a rock and a hard place at that point.
Yeah.
Noah Fant or George Kittle?
I'm just
pulling names
out,
bro. Noah Fant he scored a touchdown last week.
Dulcich or Kittle could have been juicy.
Oh yeah.
Dulcich. 100%.
Dulcich. Hopefully you're not dealing with that situation here, but let's get into the ad read before we do start sits. Today's sponsor is Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy is the easiest way to play fantasy football, and you can get started now with their Thursday night knockout, including tomorrow's Thursday night football game and their Sunday night football game as well, with $50,000 in prizes up for snags. When you sign up, make sure to use our code SUPERFB for a 100% deposit match of up to $100. So if you deposit $100, you will get another $100 matched free. Again, our promo code is SUPERFB. Woohoo! SUPERFB. SUPERFB. And you can play on Underdog Fantasy app for iOS and Android, or you can sign up online at underdogfantasy.com. All right.
You just cracked yourself up.
I sound like I was like calling for cleanup on aisle. Start sits for this very important week 14. Matt, if you want to start us off, who's your start and who is your sit?
I'll start. I'm starting with Adam Thielen. Last time he played the Lions in week 3, he had 6 catches, 61 yards, and one of his few touchdowns this season. Looking to bounce back after a lackluster performance last week against the Jets, which I kind of expected. The Jets have a very solid defense this year. But he is going up against one of the worst passing defenses this week, as in the Lions. Lions secondary is god-awful, as T-Gods mentioned. Both of these teams should be able to put up points, just like T-Gods mentioned as well. So I see Thielen at least getting a little slice of that pie. I don't think it's going to be all J-Jeff this game. You know what? Lock it in. Thielen touchdown this week. That's my lock. Sit. Michael Carter. Leave him on the pine. Is going up against one of the tougher defenses in the league in the Buffalo Bills front 7, giving up just over 100 yards a game this year. He's also coming off injury, so I'm not trusting that. I don't think his workload is going to be what it was prior to the injury, because in his absence, we saw the emergence of Zonovan Knight, who had 159 yards on 29 attempts, as well as 8 catches for 62 yards in 2 games. So I think he's going to be the feature back in this matchup. I just don't see them rushing Michael Carter back into that RB1 role anytime soon.
Yeah, definitely not with Bam Knight in the fold. So my start sit this week is going to be DeAndre Swift. It's not that bold, but at the same time, he's been a bug all year. He saw 51% of the snaps, as I mentioned earlier. If he's getting 20 carries in the game and some receptions, he's bound to have another repeat performance. Vikings are very generous to running backs, allowing the second most fantasy points to running backs in the last month. Sorry. So DeAndre Swift, the workload seems to be increasing. I would start him. Not too concerned about Jamal Williams, but I am concerned about this injury. Keep that monitored.
I'd be concerned about Jamal.
I'm not concerned because they can both eat. Swift's going to eat a little more. My sit is going to be Darius Slay. Tin, who will probably be going up against Darius Slay. I will give him some credit somehow. He always ends up being the wide receiver 1 on this team because everyone's hurt, and he does okay. But the last 2 times he's played the Eagles, he's had 1 point and 5 points. The Eagles are top 5 in points allowed to wide receivers, and their quarterbacks, their top 10 points allowed. So it's going to be a very stingy matchup for arguably the best secondary in the league. So sit Darius Slayton. There aren't many other players on that Giants offense you'd want to start. Receiver-wise.
Bellinger. Go Bellinger.
Yeah. Outside of Bellinger. One-eyed Bellinger. T-Gods, start and sit of the week.
Start. Now, he's not that great, but the past couple of weeks, he's been popping off. He did get hurt last week, so we don't know if he's playing. But Treylon Burks is a dog.
He is dog.
Dog. If you watch football, like you've seen this man do some crazy things, and I'm just a big Burks fan. I just wanted to talk about him a little bit. He's
the truth.
He's very good at football, and I'm a big fan. And they're playing the Jags. I mean, bad secondary. They might put up points. It might be a good Jags day. You never know. But yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to talk about Treylon Burks a little bit.
I could dig it.
He got smoked and still caught the ball.
Dude, that was insane. He's a beast.
He was down forever.
He still caught it.
Lifeless.
He was so lifeless. It's okay.
That shit was scary at the game. I was like,
pray for Treylon. My sit, we talked about it. I'm not going to talk about it too much. Brady versus the Niners. Brady's been mid all year. Now he's just playing a super good defense, and it's probably going to be a low-scoring game. I'm starting Jared Goff over him this week in a must-win game. So that's that.
That's all you have to say on that.
That's it.
I would say don't be surprised if he scores like 25, but I don't think he would.
I would be surprised.
I would be
astounded.
He probably scored like 25 like once this year.
Yeah, that's sad. He's getting old. All right, let's get into the game picks for week 14. We do not have updated numbers at the moment, but no worries. We'll get them on for next Thursday, Wednesday, hopefully. So follow along. Oh, we have a question real quick. Only
not a question. Not a question.
That is you reading all that? I read it already.
I went off promotion of your channel. Hopefully we don't get that spam at the end.
Oh man, the freakazoids.
Have a good time. Yeah, updated ranks are not updated, but we will have them updated next week. Sean is not here to make picks, so we'll get them from him. And if you're in the chat, pick along with us. First matchup of the week, Thursday Night Football. Raiders. Is this at the Rams? Doesn't really matter. Raiders versus the Rams. Who do we got here?
Raiders.
Definitely.
Baker. Boo boo.
Whether it's Baker, whether it's Perkins, whether it's Wolford, they all stink.
Doesn't matter.
The Rams stink.
Davante Adams is a god.
Ever since Derek Carr cried, they're undefeated. So Davante Adams is a god. So Raiders here, sweep. I'm hoping Sean picked Raiders, but you never know with that guy.
I hope he picked Rams.
Yeah, I do hope he picked Rams. Then sit in that hole even longer. Next matchup here, we have the Ravens at the Steelers. I'm taking the Steelers.
I'm a Huntley believer. Give me the Ravens.
Give me the
Steelers
Ravens
suck.
too. Huntley is the truth.
He is. Kenny stinks, but
he's like a Lamar 1.1.
We can switch it, Q. I can scribble it out.
You trust Kenny White?
Give me the Steelers. I'm keeping the Steelers.
Icky.
The Ravens stink. Besides, they just stink. Steelers stink too, but they stink a little less. Next matchup here, we have the Browns at the Bengals. I'm going to stop saying at because I don't know if these games are away, but Browns versus the Bengals.
Give me the Bengals all day long.
Bengals are hot.
Bengals as well. Let's see. Okay, so it is at, if I say at. Yeah, Bengals are hot. Deshaun Watson will be hot soon. But Bengals for now. Next matchup here might be a clean sweep. The Texans at the Cowboys.
Come on, baby.
Yikes.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was an upset.
I would love an upset, but
I would love an upset.
I'm not picking an upset.
I never would do that.
Yeah, Texans might not win a game the rest of the year. Sadly, maybe not sadly. They do have a better chance with Davis Mills starting though.
Mm-hmm.
Next matchup, the Jaguars at the Titans. I think
Titans
here.
Easily taking the Titans.
I'm sure Derrick Henry has played games with them.
He may have played a couple games.
Last time he played Jacksonville, he had. Never mind, he hasn't played Jacksonville yet this year. I was going to say maybe he had 200 yards again, but he hasn't this year at least.
Are they in the same division?
They are. They haven't played yet though.
Jesus, what are they playing? Week 15 and 16?
He did play against them last year once and had 31 fantasy points. So
that's pretty good.
It's going to be Treylon this week.
Divisional matchup here: Vikings at the Lions. Currently, the Vikings are underdogs on betting apps. So
who's the underdog?
The Vikings.
Give me the Vikes.
The 9-2, 10-2 Vikings. I'm taking the Vikings as well.
Hold on now.
Very
Hold
disrespectful.
I may get a bit juicy here. And I'm going to do it. Give me the Lions.
I think the Lions need to win 2 games, maybe the next 2 or 2 out of the next 3 to make the playoffs.
They're hungry.
They're hungry.
Lions are hungry.
The Vikings just find ways to win. They get lucky. But that's all you need. Another divisional matchup. Jeez, the rest of these games are mostly divisional matchup. The Jets at the Bills. Mike White, does he make a bounce back after a bad week 13?
Jets won the last game. Don't forget it.
That is fucking true. Von Miller's out for the season, but I'm going with the Bills.
I'm taking the Bills.
In
Revenge
Buffalo.
game.
Can't get too cute.
Mm-mm.
Josh Allen's pissed.
No reason to get cute here. Eagles at the Giants.
Come on now.
Go Birds.
Go Birds. I want to see 12-1, baby.
Chiefs at the Broncos. This was a Sunday Night Football game. It got flexed out because the Broncos blow.
Thank God.
No Chiefs.
Chiefs Kingdom. Big Red,
Easily
baby.
Chiefs. If anyone takes the Broncos, they're crazy.
They did lose to the Colts. Russell Wilson's better than
Colts
Matt
are
Ryan.
much better.
We'll save that debate for another day.
No, let's do it now. Let's just
Russell
get it over
Wilson
with.
is better than Matt Ryan.
No, he's not.
Okay. If you want to start a team today, who are you taking?
At least Matt Ryan can score over 18 points.
That's not all his fault.
Yes, it
He
is.
has
He's
Jonathan
a
Taylor.
quarterback.
Russell Wilson doesn't have a top 20 player playing around him.
They were
And
supposed to be top 20.
Who?
Sutton.
I'm just kidding. I
Judy
thought
was.
you were going to say, what's his name? The running back, Javonte.
Oh, Javonte was supposed to be top 20. It's unfortunate he got hurt.
Let's just go to the next game. Former team for Russell Wilson. The Seattle Seahawks playing home against the Panthers.
Seahawks.
Rise up. Oh, wait, that's Falcons.
12th man.
Seahawks. Bucks at the 49ers. I'm taking the Bucks.
I'm taking the Bucks.
I'm taking the Niners.
Brock Purdy, stinky. Maybe.
So
Brock Purdy
stinky.
might be better than Jimmy Garoppolo, but we'll wait and see.
I highly doubt it.
I mean, I'm not going to argue that. I don't really care. Sunday Night Football, Dolphins at the Chargers. I'm taking the Chargers. Tua has been exposed. He stinks.
I'm taking the Dolphins. Stop playing with Tua.
Especially if Waddle's out. Stinky.
Is Waddle out?
I don't know. He's hurt.
I don't really care if
cares?
he's out or
Week all
not.
day.
I'm taking the Dolphins.
Let's see.
Let's ride, Matt.
Jeff Wilson's going to run rampant.
The sideline. I don't care. And Monday Night Football, this game is not that great. Patriots at the Cardinals. Both of these, actually, I guess the Patriots still have a chance at the playoffs, but
Give me the
Taking the
Cardinals. Come on.
Cards.
I'm taking the Cardinals as well.
D-Hop is going to just eat.
Diop against the Patriots is scary. The 1 year I had him on the Texans, he had a donut.
Well,
DeAndre
how
Hopkins with a
long ago was
donut.
that? Like 2017?
2016, 2015, one of those
Okay. It's 2022, bud.
years. He's only 10 years older. That's it for picks. If you have any questions, Oh, we have a question. Gotcha.
Come on, stop doing that.
That's it for picks. Let's get into some trivia. I
forgot about
questions for today. Breaking it out of retirement. Let me just get the question ready. And if you're in the chat, please play along. I've got good questions today. All right, so if you're ready, Jesus. Looks like you're being held captive and on fisheye cameras. Oh, let's answer this question real quick. Sorry. Who's the guy to pick up for Seattle? Is it Homer or Tony Jones?
Tony Jones.
Tony
Homer
Jones,
might not play.
He's the Tony. You heard the men. They spoke. All right.
Speaking.
Let's go back to the question here. If you're ready. So tight end Juwan Johnson caught 5 touchdowns this season despite catching only 31 passes. Who is the only other current player this year who's caught more touchdowns while catching fewer than 31 passes? Sorry, let me get this off the screen.
How many touchdowns did he score?
He scored 5, catching only 31 balls.
Mm-hmm.
And there's only one other current player who has caught more, catching less balls.
I'm going out on a limb.
You have time, so don't worry.
Is it a running back?
It is not a running back.
You can't give hints.
Too late.
I'm pretty confident in my answer, but Bull might have caught more passes, so I'm bugging.
Chat, play along if you have an answer. I could one hint would give it away, so that's why I can't give any hints other than it's not a running back.
It's not a running back.
30 seconds. Don't think too hard. It'll hurt your brain.
31 passes.
This player only caught 22.
Damn.
Did that light a light bulb in T-God's head?
I could be so wrong.
It didn't. I'm literally just taking a guess. I know it's wrong.
All right. Well, I hope you didn't overthink because it was Christian Watson. Who'd you put T-Gods?
Bro, I was just guessing. I just said Darius Slayton. I don't.
It's not a bad guess.
Not a bad guess.
Thank you.
Both players have kind of gotten hot at the same time. But that is...
God, it's so obvious now. It's so obvious.
I was thinking, like, Bull has, 7 touchdowns in the past 5 games.
It's crazy.
He's only done on 20 catches. 21.
He's a
next question here. What division currently has gone the longest without winning a playoff game? Their last playoff win just came in 2019. So that a team in this division, 2 teams actually, just the division as a whole. Last playoff win came in 2019. And I will give you a hint. It is an NFC division.
All right, it's a 1-4 change.
Completely guessing.
Matt, I hope you did some studying on those divisions.
Locking it in.
You have an answer, Matt?
Yep.
It is the NFC East.
What?
The Cowboys won that year, 1 game, and the Eagles double doinked. That was the year.
Why don't we? The bias questions.
North.
Why do we still fall for it?
You guys are a little rusty, a little Deshaun Watson rusty.
I don't even know who's in the NFC North.
I do have one more question.
I think Joe is in NFC
Joe
North.
Mama.
Who?
Give us one more. How about it, eh?
Put that on a cracker, dude.
Nah, that might be all I got for today because I don't want to get tomatoes thrown at me for this question.
Come on.
All right. So,
Get the tomatoes.
Just listen to the question. It is a current player question, but you have to get through the history first. Drew Bledsoe was the number 1 overall pick in 1993. He started for both teams that will play tonight It was the Patriots and whoever played the
tonight.
Oh, well, it's an old question. He spent the first 9 seasons with the Patriots and then 3 years for the Bills. Who's the only other quarterback selected number 1 overall? He's an active quarterback and a backup right now. The only other quarterback selected number 1 overall in the draft who went to start multiple seasons for 2 teams in the same division. So this player was drafted first overall, and he's played for multiple seasons for 2 teams in the same division. He's currently a backup.
Wait.
And it was maybe like 5 or 6 years ago when he was drafted.
You know what? Fucking, I'm sticking with my answer.
Played for multiple seasons for 2 of the teams in this division. It is Jameis Winston.
Don't got it.
Who'd you guys
I guess Baker Mayfield.
He didn't play for 2 teams in the same division.
I don't know the divisions, man.
Oh my! I thought at least you knew.
I don't. Like
throw the tomatoes.
Throw the tomatoes at me. I don't know divisions, and I've been.
You
deserve football for like 20
years.
Either.
No, T-Gods, I will give you your credit though, because that 2 weeks ago or so was when you got that. Maybe it was a week ago. The Justin Fields rushing touchdown or rushing question. You had to guess the other quarterbacks. You were in the chat. You got that right. So you give credit for that. Sean, take us away. Oh, wait, he's not here. That's it for the Week 14 preview. We will be back next week with the Week 134, Week 14 recap on Monday, and Week 15 preview on Wednesday. If you have not already, make sure you use our promo code SuperFB if you're considering Underdog Fantasy, SUPERFB, SUPERFB. If you're looking to get a jersey from your favorite player or team, we now have a sponsorship with Fanatics as well. Feel free to check them out at the link in our bio on all platforms, up to 65% off of all orders. So check that out. Christmas is coming. If you want to get me a jersey, Devontae Adams, large black jersey, please. We also have a ton of sponsors with our partnership, the Old City Sports Network. So please check that link out in our bio on all platforms. Also, make sure you're following us here on Twitch. If you're watching, throw us a sub on YouTube as well. We're on Spotify, Apple, Anchor, and wherever you get your podcasts for the audio versions. Also on all social medias, that's Super Fantasy Bros Podcast. Literally just type in Google Super Fantasy Bros and you'll find us. Maybe Super FB and you'll find us SUPERFB. Probably not, but you'll find us on Twitter, Instagram, and more. See you guys Monday with Sean Gill. Peace.
Whoa.